Have you ever wondered how some creators manage to upload new videos every single day without spending hours filming or editing? Some of these channels are quietly earning £10,000 a month using nothing more than an automated AI workflow that runs in the background while they get on with the rest of their lives. Yet, the system behind it is surprisingly straightforward once you see how each part fits in together. Today, I'm going to take you through that exact process. You will see how a simple idea can be turned into a script, a voiceover, the visual, and the finished video, all generated automatically. And once the structure is in place, the entire piece can be posted to YouTube without you having to lift a finger. What makes this approach so powerful is the compound effect. Posting every day or even several times a day isn't a fantasy anymore. It becomes something you can actually sustain without burning out. Channels that automate their production tend to grow far more quickly because they stay consistent. And consistency is what pushes the algorithm in your favor. By the end of this video, you will have a complete blueprint you can copy straight away, even if you have never automated anything before. Stay with me because if you want to scale your content, this could be the turning point. So, before we start, let me show you the YouTube channel where we are going to post this video after the automation is complete. This is a new channel I have created. It has only 5 videos right now, and they are all generated by the automation, which I'm going to show you soon. Once we run this automation, it will generate a video and post it on the YouTube. So everything is automated, right? So let's start with the first node. The first node we have is the chat message. You can actually create a trigger node which runs every few hours and get the ideas of the video from a Google spreadsheet, or you can run it with a click event or any kind of trigger event. What I like to do is to come up with different ideas for kids' stories. That's why I've created this trigger. Once you have the trigger, you have to input the AI agent generate story node. This is an AI agent where you have to provide your AI prompt to your model so that you can generate a story. So I've actually created a simple, straightforward prompt here with an output format where we get a title, a story, and a summary. Next stage is to convert the output coming from this AI agent into a JSON format, which is again very straightforward, a very simple JavaScript code which takes the input from the AI agent, parse through it, and then removes all the garbage from here. Once we have got the pure story with title and summary, we are good to go. So here we distribute this information into 2 different workflows. The first one you see on the top is what creates the image for the story. So in our case, if we go back to the channel here, click on one of these videos, we see this image, and that is also created by AI for us. So what is happening here is basically we are using Fell AI. It is again a platform where there are lots and lots of models available. You just create an account, top up with some credits, and then utilize any models you want. So in our case, we are utilizing a model which is called the Fell AI Flux 2 Fresh model. Remember that there is no node specifically created for Fell AI. That's why we have used the HTTP post node here. Again, you have to create an authorization header with key here. I'm going to remove this key later on once the video is finished recording. And then in the JSON format here, what you have to do is you have to send a prompt to the model saying, create a warm, hand-painted Studio Ghibli inspired image with the image width and image height for our video. What happened next is it sends this request and it takes a little while to create this image. So it's not like you send a prompt to Google Gemini Nano Banana and it instantly within few seconds gave it to you. And in an automation workflow, that doesn't work because the automation needs to understand if the image is generated or not, and then based on that conditioned have to take a decision. So that's why we have introduced a wait for the image status here. And then we check if the image is created. Now, what happens when the image sent to the queue is it creates a request ID with the FAL AI platform here. That request ID we are going to use again here to check if this image is created or not. The way we are using it is by sending a GET request to the FAL AI API endpoint with the JSON request ID at the end. This way, it gives us the idea of the status of the image generation process. Usually, it takes less than 5 to 10 seconds, but still we have introduced the wait for 30 seconds. We check if the image content is ready. This is the image generated by FAL AI. So let me open it for you to show you. This is how it looks like. So once it is generated, we say if it is the content type is equal to image/png, then it is generated. Then send that information to merge with audio and image. Now, before we move on to this one, you must be wondering, wow, we have only generated the image. What about the audio? Hold on to this point because it becomes incredibly useful in the next step. What we are going to do is we are going to go through the next part of the workflow, which is generating the audio voice. Again, on this particular part, we are going to use another model provided by FAL AI, which is called Kokoro. And in that particular model, we will choose a voice which we like. We want American, British, Chinese, Indian, Australian, whichever voice you like, you choose it there. And once you choose that voice, the model, you have to provide what kind of speed this voice needs to speak in. Story comes from the previous node, which is our previous node here, where we are parsing the whole JSON. Once we provide this information to FAL AI, again, the same thing happens. It sends all the information in a pack and generates a request ID. This request ID is key because that is what we are going to use to figure out if the audio is generated or not. We will do another loop with wait for audio status and then go back into our HTTP request, send the request ID generated in a previous step, check the status. Once we receive the status completed, we go to our next step where we actually check if the status is completed. If it is not completed, we will go back in the loop and then wait and check and then come back. Once the audio is ready, the status is completed, we have to get the audio from the URL into a file. Now, this is very, very crucial. Your audio URL will look like this, where you can see exactly that it is hosted on FAL Media CDN and it has a .wav extension in the end. So once you have that file, what you have to do is you have to send it to merge it with the image. Now, again, this is very, very crucial step. Once we have an image file as well as the audio file here, what we are going to do is we are going to merge them together and then create a simple JSON. So here you can see there is the image file, there is the prompt, and there is the audio file. Once we have that, what we are going to do is we are going to wait a little while. Why we are going to wait is sometimes when these platforms, if you're using to generate audio and images, when they host these files on their servers, it takes a little while to transfer these files properly or have it ready for consumption. And that is why it is important to wait. Node is very crucial here. After that, we are going to use another platform which is called Replicate. Replicate is a platform which you can utilize to merge your image generated from FAL AI and your audio generated from FAL AI into one file. I'll show you. This is how it looks like. And here, what you could do is you could choose whichever models you want to use to merge these things together. I'm using a particular model called Luca Taco image and audio to video conversion, which is very good for me because it is costing me less than 1 cent every conversion, right? Okay, so once you send this request, again, it is going to generate an ID for us because remember, while it is processing, merging the image and the audio together, the ID will help us to understand if it is ready. So again, we will introduce a wait node here, and then we check the status of the audio. Okay, on this node, what we are going to do is we are going to send the same ID generated in our previous step to replicate again to figure out what is the status of our video. And once we get a response, we will check if the output is not empty. That means the video is generated. Now again, the video is generated, but it is in a format which we cannot utilize at this point of time, right? So what are we going to do now? Well, which is getting the video binary, because you need a binary file to upload it on YouTube with the help of YouTube API. You cannot upload it through a URL hosted on a third-party server. So that's why what you need to do is you need to get the video and convert it into a binary file. Once the video binary file is available, what we are going to do is we are going to merge it with two pieces of information. One is the binary file of the video, and another piece of information is our story, our summary, our title. Once we have that, we are going to go to our YouTube node and then provide the title here, as you can see, and the summary here in the description, and then upload the data here. Once that's done, the whole video is uploaded. So let me show you the live preview, how this workflow works end to end when we give it a prompt. So let me click on this. And the idea I have with me is the forest that whispered black. Okay, so I am going to send this idea to this workflow. Now, as you can see, the workflow is generating the story. I'm going to minimize the chat window here so that you can see it properly. As you can see, the parse story JSON was done very, very quickly. Now we have sent a request to Fal AI to generate the image, and now it is waiting for us to check if the image is generated or not. If the image is generated in the next node, it will take us to the merge audio image section. When it finished the image status, image is available, it sent the signal, because the merge node will only operate when both the pieces of information is available. And that's why it went back and generated the audio. And that is what makes this workflow a very robust workflow. Now we are waiting for the audio to be generated. Again, the wait node is super important. The audio is generated, it got merged. Now we are waiting to send it to merging the audio and image into a video format. And while it is doing that, I could be able to show you on my dashboard that it takes that piece of information and processes it. So as you can see, it is processing it right now. And while it is processing, we are waiting, we are checking the status, what is happening here. And while we are doing that, we are also making sure that we are not going to the next step, which is getting the binary file and storing the metadata for the video to upload it on YouTube. Okay, so as you can see, after grabbing the binary file, getting both the video and the summary, it has uploaded the video on YouTube. So we're going to go back and then we're going to refresh our YouTube channel here. And then as you can see, we have 2 videos uploaded. I have run one more command and the last one is still uploading. But as you can see, it has the title, it has the summary of it. And in a moment, I'll be able to play it for you and show it to you how it actually sounds. Let's see how this video plays up.
Quiet evening, the kind of evening that feels like a warm blanket wrapped around the world.
Perfect. So it all works. Great. Let me know if you have any specific use case which you want to create a workflow for. I'll be happy to help you out. Till then, for next Sunday, peace out.